Welcome to the Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I am the Reverend Tiffany Sapp, and I am so glad that we could connect during this time through the power of technology. Today, we explore listening as a spiritual practice and use our listening skills to transform this world and ourselves for the better. All of today's readings are from a Unitarian Universalist anthology of meditations called Voices from the Margins. Because who we choose to listen to matters deeply. This anthology is a collection of writings by Unitarian Universalists who hold at least one marginalized identity. These are the people that we want to listen to the most if we are to do the work that we are called to do right now as a people of transformative faith. This is part of living our sixth principle, building a world community with peace, justice, and liberty for all. Look for a link to this anthology in the comments here on the YouTube page. The Reverend Leslie Takahashi has written our Chalice lighting Labyrinth. In addition to contributing to this anthology, Reverend Takahashi has done pivotal anti-racism work in the Unitarian Universalist Association through the Commission on Institutional Change. Following our Chalice lighting, we will hear from another voice from the margins in our prelude, Lea Morris's Becoming Me.
Walk the maze. Within your heart, guide your steps into its questioning curves. This labyrinth is a puzzle leading you deeper into your own truths. Listen in the twists and turns. Listen in the openness within all searching. Listen. A wisdom within you calls to a wisdom beyond you. And in that dialogue lies peace.
Who I am today will not be who I am tomorrow, and who I am tomorrow will keep changing every day. And all the things I learned might fill my heart with joy or sorrow, and everything I learned might make me want to change my ways. Oh, there is nothing, no thing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing, one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows what path their life will take, and no one knows what I will see as I keep becoming me. The family you were raised in does not dictate who you marry, and the country you were born in won't decide where you are buried, and all you once believed might leave you stranded on an island where the only way back home is to abandon it as lies. And there is nothing, no thing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing, one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows where their lives will lead. What path their life will take, and no one knows what I will see as I keep becoming me. Becoming me. I must stay open to the change, curious and free, and always ready to be rearranged. There is nothing that ever stays the same. That is the one thing that life does guarantee. There is no one on earth, no one who knows what course their life will take, and no one knows who I will be as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming me, as I keep becoming.
I'm Wayne Johnson, and I'm happy to be with you here today as your service leader. We will sing Loving Kindness next. Please hold a light in your heart to dispel the darkness, to honor someone or some event, or to lift up a memory. Our reading is the meditation Song of the Universe by Reverend Manish Misra Marzetti. He has served in many leadership positions in Unitarian Universalism, including as the president of DRUM, our UU People of Color organization, diverse and revolutionary Unitarian Universalist multicultural ministries. Here is his Song of the Universe. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Listen carefully. Can you still hear the song, the one sung for you when you were born? The song sung by a cosmos in motion, rejoicing in your life. You, the result. You, the outcome. You, the celebration. Listen carefully. Can you hear it still? A song, a possibility. A reminder that we still have time to be who and what we need to be. Listen carefully. The vast expanse echoes a recognition that it's not always easy. Possibilities can be hard to pursue. Roads not taken, wrong turns, destinations that disappoint. Through this, the song persists. The universe sings no less because time and space wear us thin. The music calls us to recognize our limitations, to recognize that the song is best sung with others. Here in the community, bringing alive that is most primordial and original impulse, the desire to sing to the universe who we are, to celebrate and share our lives with others.
Listen. Listen carefully to the song of the universe. a song that we each sing with our own lives, a song that can turn from joyful to tragic and tragic to joyful in a moment, a song that struggles to be heard in a determined and broken whisper 1 minute, and then raises to the volume of shouting voices on the streets the next, a song that each of us contributes to but none of us owns, a song that is best when it is a chorus of many voices, a song that we will hear when we listen for it, when we seek it out, when we listen. The song is everywhere. It's in the babbling brook. It is sung by people marching in the streets for justice. It is sung by the child who wants to show you their latest Minecraft project again. It is sung when you feel well and when you feel unwell. It is sung within you when you feel powerful and when you feel weak. It is here, everywhere, all the time, when we listen. We are being invited to hear the song of the universe and to sing along, but only by listening with our hearts will we hear it. Listening with our hearts, though, is harder than we may think. The reason why it's so hard to stop and just really attend what's going on is touched upon by psychologist Daniel Kahneman in his 2010 TED Talk, The Riddle of Experience versus Memory. Kahneman's research reveals that there really are two selves within us at all times, and that they work from vastly different paradigms and priorities. There is the experiencing self and the remembering self. The experiencing self is the part of you that lives in the present moment. It is wrapped up in the now. And by now, I mean a very short now. Kahneman says that the psychological present is about 3 seconds long. He says that this is the part of you that can respond to the doctor when the doctor asks, "Where in your body are you feeling pain right now?" Your experiencing self right now is probably sitting in a chair in front of a computer or a phone, listening to me speak. That part of you is the experiencing self. And then there's the remembering self. The remembering self could be anywhere. While your body sits in that chair, your remembering self could be reliving an argument, walking on the beach, or making a grocery list. The remembering self maintains the story of your life. The story of your life is an internal narrative shaped by the memories that we choose to focus on and the stories and values that teach us what should be important to us. The remembering self assesses your life more than it actually lives it, but yet it is the one that is almost always in the driver's seat, accessing memories to then make choices about your life. The remembering self drives so much of our lives because it really is our memories that shape our choices, even though it is our experiencing self that's here right now that actually lives it. If we want to listen well, then we want to bring the experiencing self into the driver's seat and be fully present with those that we are listening to. During my clinical pastoral education training, I saw how our remembering self can get in the way of experiencing someone else's story. Sometimes we will even resist accepting stories that are too different from our own experiences and our own stories because the remembering self can't connect their stories with yours. The thing is, these stories come from the remembering self, not the experiencing self. So I was taught in my training to notice my own stories when they bubble up, to take a moment to acknowledge to myself that a story has come up, and then see if I can refocus on experiencing the other person more fully, returning to their story. This approach is especially useful when we encounter people whose stories don't match our own because of their vastly different personal experiences. And yet, even this professional listener training comes from its own limited perspective. The first time I really explored this idea of putting our own stories aside, I was challenged by a few of my friends who are autistic. They pointed out that their stories are the best way to access their empathy and show the storyteller that they are connecting with the story. I was a neurotypical being taught by neurotypicals, so I missed this important part of the story until I listened to some new voices. And really, outside of the clinical setting, isn't telling each other our stories just what we do as humans? Isn't this how we connect? Yes, the warnings are useful because we can let our own stories get out of hand and overshadow the storyteller that we're listening to. But if we are careful to make sure that we take turns in the listening and the telling, then we can build a beautiful, reciprocal understanding. Our small groups here teach and model this practice so well, and you'll hear more about them in a service later this month. Having my assumptions challenged by my friends with autism helped me realize that even when it comes to the principles and techniques of better listening, my remembering self could get too caught up in what I've already decided to be true. Here they were, several people who had been marginalized by neurotypical norms, telling me that their experiences were different. And a moment of defensiveness bubbled up in me before I realized that I was doing exactly the things that I was trying to do better on. After all, the fifth principle of Black Lives says the most directly affected people are experts on their own lives. So even though it took me a minute, I just had to put on my experiencing self, let go of the defensiveness, and hear them. And it helped me realize that even deep listening is more complicated than I would like it to be. My defensiveness was saying, wait a minute, I'm the professional here. I know what I'm talking about. And this defensiveness could have really gotten in the way of listening with my heart. I don't know if we as humans can experience empathy and defensiveness at the same time, because empathy leans in, defensiveness withdraws. When we're defensive, the experiencing self gets lost, and the remembering self acts like a protective layer. I know this because I've had a lot of defensiveness to work through myself, and I still experience it. I still have a lot to learn. But I've also learned to move my initial defensive reaction out of the way. So here's what I do. First, when I could feel it coming up, I would just acknowledge it. I'd say, oh, yep, there's my defensiveness. Hi, defensiveness. This simple acknowledgement would make me an observer of my feelings instead of someone trapped within my feelings. Next, I would just do a little self-talk, remind myself that whatever the person is saying that is bringing up my defensiveness is from their perspective. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I can evaluate that later, but for now, I just need to listen to them. And then I would do something that goes against the defensive instinct, and that is lean in and get curious. Ask more clarifying questions. See what this person could teach me. When our muscles are sore, they only get better by gently stretching them. And our feeling and listening muscles can be similar. By asking questions and engaging curiosity, you're stretching your listening muscles. Without a defensive remembering self in the way, we can be free to open our hearts to hearing those who are calling us to grow, who are asking us to hear their stories. I think that if we really want to live out our Unitarian Universalist values and make the world a better place, then now more than ever, we need to listen to the people who our current power structures have marginalized. The people who speak for immigrants and Black lives and transgender rights and the pushed out homeless people in our cities and the folks whose brains work differently. How would we change? And how would the world change if we turned the incredibly powerful tool of deep listening to understand those who have been marginalized? Even when empathy hurts, especially then. Even when it triggers an embarrassing story and some defensiveness in us over times that we didn't know better, especially then. Right now, this is the song that the universe is singing to us if we are brave enough to hear it. This week, let's find someone to listen to that we might not normally hear, bringing our experiencing self to the encounter wholeheartedly and listen.
Thank you for joining with us this Sunday. Thank you for activating your experiencing self today and being truly present with us. Thank you for your commitment to doing your part for transforming the world and committing to listening deeply to people who are not heard enough. Our benediction is one more gift from the voices of the margins. The Reverend John Nefer Kwong was born and raised in the Philippines, and he has spent most of his adult life in Hawaii and California, which is reflected in his meditation, Our Voices Must Be Heard. Spirit of life, you speak to us from the east and west. You speak to us from the north and south. You call us from the depths of our being. We respond with enthusiasm and fever. We cry out from Manila to Maui. We shout from Alaska to Alabama to proclaim your wondrous love from the highest mountain to the deepest sea. Our voices must be heard. We shall not be silent. Our voices must be heard. Please help me close this service now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world.
Let's commit to listening to those voices that must be heard. And each of your voices should be heard too, by me specifically. I want to hear your stories and understand your philosophy on life. I want to understand what resources you lean on when times are hard, and I want to know what brings you joy in life. Do not wait until you are in the middle of a crisis to reach out to your minister. Email me at minister@hvuuc.org and set up a time for us to get to know each other better. Please visit our website or like us on Facebook to stay in touch with us and to find out how to get more involved in our community. And we will post another service on YouTube next Sunday. To help protect the most vulnerable among us, we encourage everyone who is able to get your COVID-19 vaccination. And our postlude is May Love Hold You, Guide You, written and performed by Reverend Wendy Luella Perkins. May love hold and guide us all in this week and in the weeks to come. May it be so.
May love hold you, love